I'm just demolding one of my small little gargoyles. This is another one of the ones that didn't come with fiberglass backup. I didn't make the mold, but I made the mother mold for it. So the same idea. I used vermiculite to fill it out, just to try to keep the shape somewhat when you're trying to fiberglass it. It's pretty rough. I should actually probably make a whole new one from scratch. But hoping you guys find this as interesting as I do. Seeing something come out of the mold for the first time. I absolutely love that feeling. I'm sure some of you guys out there understand what I'm talking about. The idea is when you're taking something apart, you don't have to take the whole thing apart for the backup. You want to take as much apart as you have to. The idea is to make it as quick and simple as it is to take it out of the mold, get right on to the next one. You don't want to be wasting a lot of time. So I'll loosen up some of them. I don't want to take apart what I have to take apart. Yeah, I should loosen them up. So I put two little pieces at the top. These are separate. I'm not going to take them off, but I'm just going to loosen them up. There's some give there. So the back and those two little pieces, I got enough room. They can move and they stay on there. So you can leave most of it together as long as it's loose. You've got enough room for it to come apart. Now this is a one-piece latex, and sometimes I know when the latex was still first fresh, I would take it and it's gonna stick. It would stick to itself, right? So when I'm trying to peel it up, the latex would grab the other latex, and I would have a hard time. So all you should do, instead of spraying cooking spray or whatever on the latex, you do not want to do that. I would take it and just mist it with the mold release that you're using for the latex. That's enough to stop it from grabbing itself when you're trying to take it out of the mold. You never want to use cooking spray on anything, especially latex. You want to protect it. If you're putting time and money into something, you don't want to ruin it. And the other thing is you never want to get sunlight on the mold. Sunlight's going to break down the latex, and it does not take long. Some of the newer latexes out there, it's a little more forgiving, but sooner or later it'll start to break it down too. Always just take your time. You don't want to be rough. Last thing you want to do is break it. And I'm sure you've noticed by now in some of my videos, I'm using these Lazy Susans. Best thing ever invented. They make painting and demolding so much easier. You can buy the actual spinner part, and then you just build the wooden frame for it. And these are pretty heavy duty ones too, they can take the weight. Like I've used some of the heaviest statues that I have on it and never had a problem. So this is where we're getting to the harder part. The wings, where there should have been a seam. I can tell this mold's starting to get old. I'm gonna have to replace it soon. Ah, there we go. One of these times, it's gonna go right through the wing on it sooner or later. Because you're constantly trying to stretch it. When I redo this, I'll definitely be putting a seam into it. Probably mold it, make up a little pedestal for it. There you go. No, I'm assuming because I didn't have the actual proper backup when I bought it, the wings have probably stretched out a bit, so they're thicker, which is probably better for concrete. And it's probably a little fatter in different sections, but it still looks good. And the hardest part is actually getting the concrete in the tips here. You can see like that tip didn't make it. It still looks good though.